And folks, what we learn now is the Cisco iOS command modes. I'm going to jump right back into the switch, and that's the place where you're going to understand this the most. Here I am. I'm back on the switch easily. The different modes that you can be in as you interact with a network device, a Cisco network device, that is. There are different vendors that make network devices, routers, switches. These are the devices that I'm talking about here right now. But Cisco is the most prominent one. And if you know Cisco, you know the most important maker of network devices. And if you can know that, it'll be a little easier for you to understand the others. Now, what I was doing on the switch earlier, where we give the show MAC address table, right? I could only do that because of the mode that I was on. Look at that. I made a mistake here. I typed table twice. You see, this is the mode that I'm on that allows me to do that. There are different things that I can do in different modes. If I want to know all of the things that I want to do, I can do in each mode, I can just type a question mark, and they will all pop up for me. Each one of those words here is a command that achieves a different purpose. Look at this. Over here you see the command, and over here you have an explanation of what the command does, right? So understand that. Today, we are in the privileged exec mode. You see here it says exec commands. So it shows you all of the commands in the privileged exec mode. But there's a mode that came before that. This switch just didn't show it. How do you know if you're in that mode? That's called user exec mode. You will see this sign at the end of the line. You see this greater than sign? That indicates that you're at the user exec mode. That's the first mode. That's the lowest mode. The higher you get, the more things that you can do and the more privileges you get. But keep in mind as well that you only want to be in the higher mode if you have to be in the higher mode. So over here, I am in the privileged exec mode. I know I'm in that mode because I see the hashtag at the end of my line, right? If I want to go from user exec mode to privileged exec mode, all I need to do is to type enable, right? And that's all I do. And this allows me to go from user exec mode to privileged exec mode. If I want to go from privileged exec mode to global configuration mode, I need to type configure terminal. In fact, let's just do that now. If I want to break out, I can type Q and it will break out of the display for me. So let me demonstrate what I meant by that. I can just type enter. I can hit enter continuously until all of those different things, there's no more of them, but that can be a long time from now. You see that? Or I can just type Q and it'll go break out of that for me. It doesn't have to print the rest of them. So from this mode that I am, which is the privileged exec mode, and I know that because I have the hashtag at the end of the line, if I want to go to a higher mode where I have more privilege, I can type configure terminal. I am explaining to you how to interact with the switch or the router or the network device. You see now, it changed from just a hashtag now to config entre parentheses and hashtag. Now I'm in the global configuration mode. What does that mean, folks? That means that I can configure the switch globally. Commands that I give here will have a global impact to the switch. Those commands will be able to impact the switch globally, everything on the switch. But there are sub-commands. I can go from this command to a sub-command. Let's go to a sub-command. What's a sub-command? Let's imagine that I want to interact with one of those interfaces on the switch. Look at this switch. If I do not want to configure the whole switch, I just want to configure this interface by itself, I can do what I'm going to do here. And it is this. I can go interface, fast Ethernet, 0/1. That's the interface over here. And if I hit enter here, you see how it changed? From just config and hashtag, it now says config if hashtag. I'm in the interface configuration mode. Changes I make here will only affect that one interface. They will not affect all of the interfaces. In fact, folks, I am feeling excited. I'd like to give a command that will affect an interface on the switch. And I want to find one of the most important interfaces. And what if I want to exit? Before I do that, what I'm going to do here will be very damaging. It's going to take the switch down. I'm not going to have access to the switch anymore. But I know how do we get access. So I just want to demonstrate to you how you can influence one interface of the switch and the impact of that in a real switch. This is a big deal. You are learning this in a real environment, and I will give you access today to this switch so that you can do some of the things that I am showing you how to do today. So first, let me exit out of that. If I want to exit from this interface configuration mode to a previous mode, remember the mode that I came from, that was the global configuration mode. If I exit out of this mode that I'm in now, I'm going right back to the mode that I was in previously. If I tap exit and enter, it takes me there. You see, I didn't have to write the whole word exit. I just type exit without the T. It understood what I meant. So you don't have to write the whole thing, so long as there's no other option, right, with those words or with those letters. So I'm now in the global configuration mode. I'm going to exit again. Let's see if I type EX if it's going to understand. It understood, right? I didn't have to write the whole word exit. Okay, now I'm in the what mode here, folks? Can someone tell me what mode I'm in now? Privileged exec mode. Beautiful. And in that mode, if it's my son, I say something like that, he'll say, no. You don't say beautiful. That's cool. You say beautiful to girls, but he doesn't understand those words like that. Cool. I just say cool now this time. In this mode that I am now, I can show. The show command is a very harmless command. It shows you information. There's a lot of information on this switch. And the show command can help you see different types of information, right, the way you want to see it. You may not want to see all of the configuration of the switch. You might want to see a portion. The show command can help you do that. Now, what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to show you all of the interfaces. Show, interface. And if I want to know what can come next, I can just give the question mark. And you see it gives you the list of other options that I have next after the word show interface. But what I want is show interface brief. Let's see if that works here. Let's give show IP interface brief. Okay. The show IP interface brief is supposed to show me all of the interfaces that have IP addresses connected to them. So what do I see here, folks? I see over here it says interface, and right below here it says what interface that is. IP address, it says what IP address is assigned to that interface. It says if it's okay, yes. Method NVRAM. NVRAM stands for non-volatile random access memory. I don't know if I should go into those things, but just remember that, right? It has a meaning. It's non-volatile. That's all the meaning is, but we'll get to that eventually. Status up, protocol up. That's good. All of these things are good, right? They're positive things. Look at that one. It's not so positive. Down. So it's down. Maybe it's tired or something, but that doesn't happen to the switch ports. It's just not working right now. And why is it not working? That's because there's nothing plugged to it, right? That's all it is. If nothing's plugged in the switch, the interface is down. It's not doing anything. But folks, I see there's one interface that's up. This interface here, it's up. And I wonder, why is this interface up? But I know why. That is because this interface is where I connected my firewall. You remember the diagram that I showed you here, folks? This is what you're looking at here. This is the switch that you're looking at here. And this switch is connected to this firewall here. Understanding this, and in fact, it's not here. It's this switch here. This switch here, is connected to this checkpoint firewall. I know this to be a fact, and I can bring up this firewall here and show you. But I know this. This is how my connection happens to this switch. My computer is somewhere here, and it is connected wirelessly, right? And from that, it gets into the firewall because the access point where my computer gets the Wi-Fi connectivity is connected directly to the firewall. That's how this is set up here. And from here, I am able to go from the firewall to the switch. Folks, today, I will take this switch down. And here's how I do that, my friend. I am going to simply elevate my privilege. Configuration terminal. I don't have to write the whole thing. I can just write conf T. The switch understands that I mean configure terminal. And from here, I'm going to go into interface configuration mode. This is a sub interface. This is a sub mode. Look at this. This is fast Ethernet 0/1. This is where the firewall is connected. This is our only connection to the switch. If we break this, we can no longer access this switch that way. Are you with me all? And I'm going to demonstrate the effect to you. So I know the address of the interface, right? It's interface 0/1. Interface 0/1, right? You see it? Fast Ethernet 0/1. I can call on that interface. I can say interface, fast Ethernet 0/1. I've called on that interface, and it has no choice but to allow me to interact with it. Here it is, I hit enter. So now, folks, you notice that I'm in different mode. This is a sub mode. This is an interface configuration mode. But do you remember that this interface is the interface that gives me the connectivity from my computer to that switch? You remember that, right? So as we go on the wire, this is the wire that makes that connection. I'm going to take that wire down. So what do I do now, folks? I give this command, shut down. Before I do that, let me show you through the question mark what shutdown will do. You see, I give the question mark here. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing here. And if you skip a bit, you can just rewatch the video, right? Shutdown. It should be in the S area. Excellent. You see, you don't have to memorize that, my friend. You can give a question mark just like this, and it shows you what your options are, what your commands are, right? And next to the command, it's going to tell you what the command does. This is the command. And over here, this is what the command does. You see, this command shut down the selected interface. That means I've already selected that interface. And now if I give this command, it shall shut it down. This is cool stuff, okay? In each one of those other commands, right, it tells you what they do. So folks, let me give that command shut down. And I guarantee you I should lose access to the switch because this is the interface that makes the connection from my computer to the switch. Shut down. I believe I should lose access. You see, I can no longer type. Do you all see what's happening here? Can I still type? No, I can no longer type. I have effectively lost access to that switch. Why did this happen to me? Can someone understand? Can someone tell me what happened to me here?
You made an order for it to shut down, so it shut down.
What did I shut down? I shut down the interface. Exactly. That's the interface where the wire is connected. The only wire that we have to connect us to that switch, I shut it down. And you see the effect? Network error, software caused network abortion. So it gave me that error. I can no longer access it. Let me redo the same thing I did on PuTTY to get to the switch. 192.168.10.12. And it doesn't work. If I want this switch to work again, here's one of the options that I have. I can reboot the switch because what I just did to the switch, I didn't save it. You remember that I told you the NVRAM stands for non-volatile memory or random access memory? Well, there's the volatile memory. There are two types of memory in the switch. One volatile, one not volatile. The not volatile memory is where you save it. The volatile is when you have not saved it yet. Because I haven't saved it yet, it's in the volatile memory. That means if I reboot the switch, it evaporates somehow. It goes away. But if I saved it, even if I reboot the switch, it's still going to be there. I'm going to reboot this switch. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.